Hello everyone, Christina here. Welcome to day one of the holiday card series for 2025. I apologize for this camera shake. I'm not sure what was happening. I'm thinking some construction nearby was causing the camera to shake, but I apologize. I wasn't sure if the holiday card series would happen this year. I'm so glad I'm back just for 12 days instead of the 25. Hopefully we'll go back to 25 next year. I'm going to start out with the 5 window frame from Mama Elephant. This is one of their dies that came out in September, and I'm going to be cutting it using some OLO marker paper. This is because even though this frame won't have any coloring on it, I do want the white color to match the cardstock that I'll be coloring on. So I used the 5 window frame to cut this out. And when I saw this die, I thought it would be really cute to put 5 little characters inside it. So I'm going to have them on a piece of cardstock directly behind the frame. And I want to make sure that I have each one of these little illustrations positioned perfectly within the frame. So I'm holding the frame up in the top corner of this cardstock and then penciling in each one of these frames. I'm then going to cut this down so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it's the exact size of the frame. And then I'm stamping each one of these little characters from this stamp set from Mama Elephant. I cannot remember the name of this stamp set, but I will have it listed down below in the supplies. I'm going to be using the stamp set and then another die set as well. So I'm stamping the different illustrations in some alcohol marker friendly ink. I'm using Intense Black from Simon Says Stamp today. And sometimes I needed to stamp these little illustrations twice to get a really solid line. Other times I was able to just stamp them once. It just really depended. And as I went along, I realized that the more times that I stamped the images, trying to get a solid line, that sometimes it thickened up some of the lines. So you'll see here at the end for these last 2 illustrations on the end of the card on the left side, that there were a couple little spots that weren't completely black, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'll come back in with a marker and fix those in a bit. So here is the finished little piece here. And then I've got the Jolly Balloons stamp set that I'm going to fill in that gap with. So I'm going to stamp my greeting. I used the greeting Be Merry, and I also stamped these 3 balloons. I thought maybe I would use them, and in the end I decided not to. Now I did do quite a bit of layered stamping here, doubling up on that, trying to get a solid line. So I used my heat tool to speed along the drying of the ink. This is just to prevent any of the ink not being fully dry and having it smear or smudge. So now I'm using a Copic Multiliner just to come in and kind of darken up some of those lines that were a little bit too faded. I have one more thing to do before I get to the coloring, and that is to address the pencil lines, because I wanted to make sure that they would not show up too heavily once I put that frame on top, just in case the frame shifts a tiny bit or anything like that. But I still need the pencil lines so I know how far to take each background on the different little images. So I just used an eraser and kind of very lightly erased it. I could still see the pencil lines though. So now I'm taking some Copic markers and I'm going to be coloring this entire image. Now, you might notice as I go along, once I start coloring with the green, that on the center bottom illustration, it might look a little bit funny. That's because I had a mistake and I had to clean it up. I was actually creating this card live with my premium members here at YouTube. So if you want to see how I fixed that mistake, you'll want to go watch that video, but it is only available to my premium members here. If you would like to join my premium membership, we have a lot of fun over there. It starts as low as $5 a month, and we do a monthly Zoom call and 2 member lives that are exclusive, that you get to see everything from start to finish. There were actually quite a few just in the last week. In fact, on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I started a card and it was taking too long. I had to take a break, had to take a lunch break, then came back later and did another live to finish it off. And that was a lot of fun. So if you would like to join my premium membership, The information is down in the video description. There's a line that says, join my premium membership. Or if you see a join button somewhere, you could click that and get information there as well. All right, I'm going to turn on a little bit of music so you can watch the rest of the coloring, but I kept the colors very minimal on this card, mostly red, green, and brown, and then I brought in a little bit of blue for the background and also the sky. So here we go.
Spirit everywhere. I think you know what time it is. Mama cooked a Christmas breakfast. I can't wait to see my presents. I'm highly jolly like Saint Nick. With all this love I see in town, plenty toys to go around. I'm feeling bright just like the snow. Home is where the family is. I'm crossing off my Christmas list. There's just one thing I'd like to know. Chocolate milk and reindeer games. It's my favorite holiday. And stockings filled up to the brim. Thank you, Santa, you're the best. I got my favorite ornament. This year I'm so fortunate. So I left some cookies out for him. With all this love I see in town, plenty toys to go around. I'm feeling bright just like the snow. Home is where the family is. I'm crossing off my Christmas list. There's just one thing I'd like to know. Santa, can you groove with me underneath that Christmas tree? Everybody dancing in the place for us to be. I can hear them sleigh bells ring. Christmas time is everything. I just wanna know, can you groove with me? Christmas, y'all.
So I finished up the balloons, and then I'm going to take the coordinating dies for this stamp set, and I'm going to cut out the balloons. It was at this point that I decided not to use the 2 star and 1 round balloon because I thought this would be enough. There's quite a lot going on this card with all the different scenes and the different colors, so I thought it'd be best not to add any additional elements. That little spot up there on the frame is perfect for a greeting, whether you pop it up or you stamp it. So now I'm taking some narrow foam strips. These are from scrapbook.com, and they are, I think, my favorite foam strips. And not only because they're nice, like about 1/8 of an inch thick, but also because they offer different thicknesses. So they have 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, and 3 millimeter. If you're doing any Black Friday shopping, I thought I'd give you a tip. My favorite is the 2 millimeter. That's kind of like a nice medium ground. It's about the same thickness as your kind of average foam tape. But if you're looking for something for shaker cards, you might want the 3mm. I think that's the perfect thickness. And then if you want something very, very low profile, just barely popped up, maybe you're worried about the thickness of your card or you're adding lots of layers, maybe go for the 1mm. And they have their foam adhesive in mini squares, big squares, narrow strips, dots, lots of different options. So I put those mini narrow strips on the back of the frame, and then I used the corner of my Scor-Pal to adhere the colored panel to my card front and then also the frame to the card front. I then took those same foam strips and put it on the back of my Be Merry balloons, and then I placed that directly on top of that blank area on the frame. Just so perfect. Okay, so from the very start, I had envisioned having the balloons being held by this little bunny here at the bottom. So I'm taking a very thin marker. This is just another Copic Multiliner. In fact, I think it might be the one that I used earlier when I darkened up the lines on the stamping. And I'm just drawing lines connecting the hand of the bunny to the different balloons. And I wanted to make sure that I had a string for every single balloon. So I started here with the Mary, and then I came in and added those final 2 lines for the B and also the E. And I think that just finishes off the card, and it really brings that greeting into all of the scenes. To finish off the scenes, because they were like a little bit plain, and to give it more festive flair, I decided to bring in some snowflakes. So I'm using a white gel pen, and this is my favorite white gel pen. This is the number 10 Bold Jelly Roll from Sakura, and you want to make sure you get the number 10 Bold for sure, because I think the 8, which is a medium, and the 5, which is the fine, they tend to have flow problems, and they don't have as smooth of application. And even so, just like most gel pens, this one does sometimes act a little bit finicky and not want to work. But of all 3 widths or thicknesses, the number 10 I think is the most consistent and I have the least problems with. So if you have ever been frustrated with a white gel pen, try this one. It's really good. I'll link it down below. Here's the finished card for day 1. I think it's so festive and cute. Come back on Monday night for day 2. It's Monday, so I'm going to be doing Holiday Card Series live, because Monday nights are usually my weekly live nights. So come back at 6 p.m. Mountain Time to join me for day 2 of the Holiday Card Series. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all on Monday.